Hey everyone, my name is Colin. Today I'm going to be talking about two different bags from my 2021 Harley Davidson Pan America Special. First one's going to be the Harley Davidson aluminum side cases and this top case right here. Then I'm going to go into the realm of soft bags, the soft panniers by Mosko Moto, the backcountry bags and the backcountry duffel as well. I'm going to talk about prices, I'm going to kind of compare the two, go in the ins and outs of it, and after all that, we're going to come back to the bike. I'm going to show you how easy it is to install on this, and then I'm going to show you which one I'm going to go with. The first one I show you are the Harley Davidson panniers, and these are made from a company called SW Motec. So they worked with them in designing and making these, and they come in black or the gray. You might have seen them both. Obviously, I went with the black. And this one right here, which is the bigger of the two, this is the left side one. So on the back, there's your mounting holes, which slides into the HD rack. And this one will hold 45 liters, so it is a good size bag. And on the right side, which is this one right here, that one is actually 37 liters, so it's a little bit smaller, and that's due to the offset with the exhaust. But how these work is a drawback to these, at least I found, is that you have to use a key. So it's not like a normal saddlebag like I have in my Street Glide where you have to just pop a latch and you're done. I mean, for security it's great, but all you do is you unlock it, and to lock it back, just turn the key. But for the sake of this, we're going to pop it open here. And this thing's got a lot of space in it. It's going to be dark in here, but this is a good amount of space. Trust me, you can fit a lot in here. These will set you back for the pair. These are $959, and that does not include the mounting hardware. And I believe the mounting hardware is like $292 that you need to attach these to the bike. Now, attaching these to the bike is very, very simple. On the bike itself, there's four little holders right here, and they just slide in and they snap in place. And this is waterproof. It is durable as hell. You can add stuff to the top if you want. So with here, like, you can attach a jacket with some bungee cords, and they've got a bunch of different spots here which you can attach to. But this thing is solid as hell, I will tell you that. The right one, a little bit smaller, and again, this one is 37 compared to, and this one goes on the right side of the bike. Same exact setup as the other one. You've got a key that opens it. And then on both sides of the bike, they have these other ones. And again, it's keyed. And they've got covers on all these locks. So you can shut this on both of them to prevent any moisture from getting in. So whenever I go on rides, I make sure that I shut these. So let me show you the top case. Along with the panniers, this is the top case. Now, to pick this thing up, it's going to cost you $535, I believe. And then you have to get the mount that this attaches to. So the mount is $164, but similar. You know, once we get to the bike, I'll show you that. But they hook into here, and it has two locks on it. One that, just like the others, you know, you open it up and it attaches, and then this one attaches to the mounting plate. And like inside, and this is what's a great advantage of this thing, as I just knocked all this stuff over here. I use this all the time. So once I show you the Mosko bags, and I'll tell you, and I get to the bike, I'll show you the kind of the combination I use the most. But you can fit a good amount in this thing, you know, with holding that many liters. So one thing that this has that is a big advantage is this. You can actually fit a full face helmet in there. This is my wife's helmet. And then I'll stick a couple other things. Oop, you're gonna have to move around a couple things to get to it. Now I just say that, and then it doesn't fit. Once I get it all packed nice and neat, you can get everything back, and then watch, it does shut. So it will easily close. Now I lost my keys, where I put my keys. If you were to, where you take all three of these things that I just talked about, the left and right panniers, and then the top case, you're looking at almost close to $2,000 for the whole setup, and that includes the mounting system. So that's the two bags for almost $1,000. This one for, what did I say, $535, then almost $300 for the mount, and then the top case was $164 or something like that for the mount on that. You add it all up, I think it's like $1,950 or something. Now, as for the Mosko setup I have, the first thing I'm going to be talking about is this duffel that they make. And this is called the Backcountry 40-liter version 2.0. And now they make a 30-liter one. This one's 40. And this thing's huge, man. It really is. It's good size. Everything you see on here is part of the actual bag that you purchase. And this, with the exception of one thing, and I'll go over that in a second. And this is going to set you back $329. And I believe the 30-liter one is $30 cheaper. I think it's $299 range. So right here, see how it's rolled up right here, and then on the other side, same exact thing. You can access, and that's where the main part of your stuff's going to be packed. And what's cool about this bag is it's like 2 layers. So essentially, it's kind of 2 bags in one. The outside's very rugged. It's designed for, you know, off-road. It's designed for like adventure riding, that type stuff. So let me unattach these buckles. And everything's in a buckle system here. And with these buckles, they're Velcroed. So like to tighten it and loosen it and stuff, all you got to do is undo like this Velcro and then loosen it up. So like right here, I can snap it and then just tighten it down, then roll it back up and then Velcro it back. This is a waterproof bag. So you have the outer layer, and then you have the inner layer, which is that blue background right there. And I threw some clothes in here just to pop it out a little bit, because when you first receive this, it's flat. This right here, this little piece, they call it the beaver tail, and they have it on both the panniers and the duffel bag. This, before I get into it, this is done through a what they call the Molly accessories. You see this right here. This is a Molly stick. So like it opens and closes, you can hear it. And with this bag, and it's a 4-liter bag that I just picked up for some extra storage. If you look under here, it's kind of hard to see, but there's that stick. So what you do is you roll the stick in between the actual bag and then the Molly webbing that's already attached to this duffel. And then you do it like 3 or 4 places, and then you lock it in, and you have to do that 4 different places. So 1, 2, 3, and 4, the one I just showed you. And this thing's rock solid. It's not going anywhere. The beaver tail, what I was talking about. So let me open these 3 right here. If you turn it around, let's see all this. So on the right side here, this is like a document or a map pouch. And you know, even though I probably won't use it because I don't use maps, but like if you're traveling abroad and you want to get a passport or anything for like customs, this is cool. It just peels off. So instead of taking the whole bag with you or pulling everything out, you just take this and run inside with you, and then you're safe to cross the border. Good on that. And then on the other side has a zippered pouch, so you can go through here and put some small toiletries, anything. More Molly webbing for another accessory. And this right here is kind of cool. It's designed for like tent poles or like a collapsible chair that you could put in here if you'd like. But the whole point of the beaver tail thing, let me find something I can give you an example of. So like throughout the day, as you guys are riding and you're getting rid of like shedding clothes. So for the sake of this is going to be my jacket, right? It's a nice towel. I'm in my basement, forgive me. You can put it in here and then just add up. So this thing expands a lot. So with this in, all you have to do is go through and then adjust the straps like I was showing you earlier. And then you can get more product on this duffel. For this right here, it was just a little bit extra storage. It wasn't that expensive. I think it was either 40 or 50 for this whole thing. You could put like a fuel bottle in it. So, I mean, it'll fit 2 in here. They also, when I get to the panniers in a second, there's a spot for these as well. But it doesn't have to be this. And then I also picked up the straps. I think these are $40, if I remember right. And, any strap will work, honestly, to strap this to your bike. But they look like this. And then you hook it in, and so you hook it to a part on your bike, strap it down, this thing's not going to fall. Last thing I want to show you, which I think is cool as hell. Now, I don't know how much I'm going to use this, but it's there as an option if I want to. So on the back of the bag, so this is actually where it sits on your bike, you pull this out. And this is pretty ingenious, actually, that you'll see it in a second what it is. Did you figure it out yet? Turns into a backpack. So you can actually carry this. All right, next bag I'm going to talk about is the actual panniers for the left and right side of the bike. This is the Backcountry 35 liter, and it's, when it says 35 liters, 30 in the actual bag, and then you have the option of adding a 5-liter bag on the side. So when you go on the website, you have the option of ordering it without any bags, the one right here, or you can get 2 bags, which is the one I did, or you can get 4 bags, which would hook on this other side. And the cool thing about these bags, they actually screw in, so they give you some hardware, and this thing is solid. It's not going anywhere. When you go on, I think, off the top of my head, it's $8.99, no bags. I think the one I ended up paying for was $1,039, and it's $1,100 something with the 4-bag setup. But with this bag, it's very similar to the duffel I was just talking about earlier. So I'm going to unattach this. It's got the 2 layers, so when you roll it up here, and you have to undo all the straps here, so I'm going to undo that strap. It's got the waterproof bag underneath, and you could separate it, and it has the outside shell and then the inside shell as well. And this bar right here is more for a locking system, which I'll show you guys once I get to that in just a second here. And then they also have the beaver tail, that famous word again. So let me take these off. Similar to the duffel. So when you open it, you have a little bit of space right here. So if you open it up, you can put some documents right here or anything you'd like to. Seals that up nice. This is designed, on their website. I mean, you can put whatever you want with it, but it's like a handheld tool, or a handheld, like an axe or something. Something to cut wood if you're out there. So an axe would slip through these into this and down through here. With this right here, this bag, it comes open like this, but they also send you this. So this turns this into a dry bag. So all of a sudden, you can take this and stuff it down here. And the way they have this design, see at the bottom here, as you put it down in here, there's a hole that you can grab that string I just showed you, pull it down nice and tight, put an extra 5-liter of things that you want to keep dry, and then just roll it up and then cinch it down, and it'll go right in there. So back to this right here, this locking thing. So one thing they sell, and I picked it up when I ordered all this stuff. This is the, it's a 6-foot, excuse me, a 5-foot one. They make one for 5 and 6 foot. The 5-foot is for the pannier, and the 6-foot that I have in my hand, that's actually for the duffel. But what you do is you roll right here, you roll the top of the bar through it, and then you roll it through your frame, then you roll it out on the other side. So this is a wedge system. So there's a wedge plate, which you'll see soon, and this connects right on that wedge. And this right here is a quick release tab. So to get it on and off, all you got to do is hold that, comes right off, take it into your campsite, hotel, wherever you're going. Just like the others, they have MOLLE accessories that you can add. And whenever you order anything like a MOLLE accessory through their company, Mosko, they'll send you a set of these too. And this is again what it looks like. They open and close just like it does in the duffel. And you also have it on the bottom too. So there's one on the bottom of the bag, the side, and there's actually one on this side, but it gets covered up. I covered it up because of this bag that I screwed in. All right, let's go to the garage. Okay, we're back at the bike. I was talking about earlier about this quick release and how easy this is to come off. So all you have to do to take this off is just pull this, and there you go, it slides right off. Here's the wedge system I was talking about earlier with the back of the bag. This, to install this, you do have to take, see they look like this right here. These actually go right here. There's 4 of them, so there's one here, here, and here. It'd be nice if you could install this wedge right over it, but unfortunately the bag hits these little things when you do it. Now if you notice, mine's a little off center. Normally you'd think you're gonna put it dead on straight, right? So if you notice it's more to the left. And the reason I did that, if you look over here, this is the part that holds the hard cases of the Harley panniers on. So instead of having to take that off, I figured I just slid this over, and from a weight distribution standpoint, I checked it out, it's still fine. That way, for me to uninstall if I ever want to go back and do the hard cases, All it will take for me is just to put these 4 back in and take this off. So you see these little blue things right here? This is how easy it is. You can kind of get in there, but there's 4 of them. There's 2 on the bottom, and then there's 2 up top. And all you do is you get it lined up where you're happy on all 4. And then after you do that, you take these 4 screws right up top here, and then there's some on the bottom as well. And then you bolt these 2 things into that blue mount, and this thing is solid as a rock, man. It's not going anywhere. It's literally probably would take, it took me like 10-15 minutes to swap out the hard panniers for the Mosko bags. So you can watch how easy this is. This slides right here, locked in place. Now, as for the top case, to remove this and then put the duffel bag on, it's very, very simple. Again, you put your keys in. Let's see here. Pull that down, bring this down here, and then there's a little attachment right here. That's all you do. Once you unhitch it, you just take off this right here. And then over here, you see those little nuts I was showing you earlier. It's the same setup for the top mount. So they just slide right in here, here, here. And then there's a little latch that locks it in place. Now, to do the duffel bag, to kind of give you an idea, you could choose where you want to put it on here. Now, I have a lot of different places on this bike that I can mount this bag to. So those straps I was telling you about, I can hook them to here. I've got places over here I could latch it down to. You know, I'll take it back from a distance here. This thing is that's big, right? It's good size. And then I'm going to give you an idea of the off. Remember I was telling you earlier about they make the ones that are 35 and 25 to make it offset. I don't see that big of a difference, honestly. I mean, you see how the exhaust and the bars stick out a little bit. I'm happy with this. I'm good. If you're asking me what I prefer, is the soft bags, for sure. I mean, there's so much you can get out of these, and it's so versatile. And there's nothing wrong with the hard panniers. They're good. You can get, you know, I think it ends up being with the entire setup, I get made with the hard panniers and the top case, you end up getting like 10 more liters worth of storage compared to the duffel and the 235s. Is that a big deal? No. I'd rather have these soft bags. Obviously, if you're traveling off-road, these soft bags are the way to go, 100%. I think my big setup's gonna be is I'm probably gonna keep the soft bags on for probably 90% of my riding, even if I'm touring street. And then I'll probably keep the top case from Harley on, honestly, that one right over here. I'll use this if I go on like super long rides with that are purely dirt or off-road. This will come in a lot more handy. But a lot of the stuff that I can get on this, I can feature in here as well. So there you go. Well, hopefully this video was helpful, kind of going over the ins and outs. Let me know your thoughts. I always like comments, and I'll make sure I respond to you. Appreciate everything, guys. Now get out there and ride. Be well, and I'll talk to you guys soon.